Hello and good evening. First of all, I apologize that I'm a bit late, but I was having a bit of a technical difficulties, and I'm hoping that this session will not be disturbed by these technical difficulties. As you can see, I'm nowhere near the church. I'm in my back garden. Please don't look at the grass because I'm just about to cut it after this YouTube film. But that doesn't matter. Because tonight I wanted to share with you one of my kind of a recent passions. I was having a great passion for what I'm going to present when I was much younger. Obviously, when I was a student, I needed to give it up. But recently, from time to time, when I get together with my friends, we really enjoy doing what I'm going to present to you. As you can see, the weather is not bad, but we are still on lockdown. And if we would want to do something constructive, something funny, something that we can learn in the same time as to have fun, we can do games. Okay, we can do board games. I think that in the recent years, I don't know, maybe 5, maybe 7 years, I observe that even grown-up people like me do board games because it's a wonderful way to spend a social time. But also, children, I think, start discovering games. And if you haven't discovered the board games yet, if you're only on computer games, you don't know what you're losing really. And that's why I'm doing this video clip. Okay, so enough of my talking. I'll try to present to you one game in more details. The other one is a very famous game, and I think that if you don't know how to play it, you're losing something in your life. But you will see. Okay, so I need to change the camera now slightly to present the table. Okay. And the first game I would like to present to you is called Rummy Cup. Okay, Rummy Cup is a very interesting game. I have to say that I didn't know how to play it until maybe 2 years ago. And I got it in a very popular kind of shop. I won't tell you the name. It's not that costful. The game is, it says it's 7+, 2 to 4 players. So at least if there are two of you, you can play this game. And obviously, it's about logical thinking and maths. Okay, one thing that is important in every game is the rules. I would suggest to anyone before starting the game is to read the rules really carefully and to stick to them. Okay, I would say that I'm not a very experienced gamer, but this is always helpful and it keeps the game fair. Okay, what is the game about? Basically, um, all of the players between 2 and 4 receive like a rag for special tails. All the tails, I won't be taking them off, but all the tails that you've got, you need to place on the table, and you need to put them in the way so you can't see the numbers. And the numbers are from 1 to 13. They are in in 4 different colors, and you need to pull 14 tails for your rag and put them preferably in some sort of sections. Okay, so I'm having 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 13, 14 tails. Okay, now what's the point of the game? Obviously, the point of the game is to get rid of all the tails that you've got in the rag, but it needs to happen in certain rules. And what are the rules? I'm not going to mention to you all the rules. I'm just going to give you the basics of this game. But obviously, as you can see, some of the numbers match together either through the color or through the number. And to start getting rid of your tails, you need to find triplets. So 3 tails that match either in the color or in the number, and all the triplets need to sum up to the number that is 30 or over. Okay, so let's see what we've got. We can see that the first triplet is the section 2, 3, 4, and we need to start adding up. So 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 4 is 9. So we've got 9 that is ready to go. Let me see if we have other triplets. Of course that we do. This is basically like a twin triplet, but in a different color. And you can create only triplets out of the same color. So for instance, 3 cannot be matched with this 4 because it's a different color. But this black and this orange can be matched together. Now I've got 2 tails. It's a very good number because it gives 24, but it's only 2. So I wouldn't be able to get rid of any of these tails because the sum of these 2 triplets doesn't give 30. And of course, if you've got 2 or 3 or 4 players, they equally need to do the same. And when you're starting the game, it's good, very good, to get the app that is called Rummy Cup Score Timer. So this app gives you the timing because you're allowed to think only. Well, most gamers play for a minute. You can decrease it to 30 seconds. You can allow, especially at the beginning when you're getting into the game, you can allow 2 minutes. This app tells you exactly how you can play it. So it's a very good one, and it sums up at the end everything for you. But basically, at the beginning, you need to have 30 in sections of 3 tails each one to start getting rid of these tails. If you don't have one, when it's your turn, you need to pull another one. Okay, so 10, red 10 is not close from 8. And if I was playing with other players, obviously each one needs to pull a tail not having a move. Okay, so I need to pull another one. This is close to 13, but I don't have any. So I've got another number, but it doesn't give me anything. You can see that this 9 can be either used with this 11 if I got the green 10, or it can go together with another 9 if it's in a different color. Okay, I've got another 2. It doesn't give me anything, so I would still need to be pulling more tails and more. You see what an unfortunate pull, because I've got another 12, but it's of the same color. So there are 2 sets of different color in every game. So I've got 11. Okay, I'm not cheating. That's why it takes so much time. It's oh, you see, what a nice. The section can be always longer than 3 tails. So I've got now 9, 14, 20, 29. Oh, come on. So I can't start getting rid of this tails because I'm missing one number. Okay, maybe I'm not seeing something. But I'll try to. Oh, that's a very fortunate. Okay, so I've got a triplet created of 3 12s, and then when my turn comes, I can use my minute to start getting rid of all the tails. Okay, so I've 29 because I counted it before. Okay, and I've got 36 on the top of it. So I'm getting rid of all these numbers, and then they in front of every player. And once the player is in the game, so it means that he had initial sections of 30 points or more, these players can start playing up using these numbers, but the basic rule is that the tails need to stay in at least a section of 3. So if I be pulling, for instance, another 4, okay, I can divide this section because I'm creating another triplet in that way, but it can be divided because I've got this section of 3 in everything. So I wouldn't be able to divide the section and leave just these 2 tiles because it's against the rules. It needs to be in 3. And obviously, if you take more numbers, you're able to kind of match and mix the tails that are on the table. What is very helpful is a joker. The joker stands for every number you want to have. So for instance, if I got the joker, I can go out with it in that way, which is very good because you want to get rid of all the big numbers, or I can get rid of the section in that way. So joker, it doesn't matter if it's red or black, it stands for every color. And basically the winner of one game is the person who is able to get rid of all the numbers, matching them to the tiles that are on the table. Sometimes you're being left with 1 or 2 and you keep pulling it and adding it to the table, but the game can take even up to half an hour, like one set of the game, because it does take time. Sometimes you think that you've got not only tails on the rack, but they're everywhere on the table. It's best not to show the tails to other players, and you're thinking when it's going to start. And once the tails are on the table and you get the proper number when you can come out with, you're probably getting rid of 60% of the tails that you've got. And obviously only one person can win, but if you if you are left with any tails, these tails need to add up, and this is the score that is against your interest. So basically the point of this game is to be constantly on minus. So it's almost like in this word game. Oh gosh, like in Scrabble, whatever is your interest gets on minus, and the losers add up the points on plus. And for instance, I don't want to be counting now, but I would be probably left with more than about 70 points. Okay, so it's not a very, if I was left with the rack like that, it's not a very good score. It's best to be on minus. And obviously if you play 2 or 3 or 4 games, you can see that a minute is not that much, and you need to calculate very quickly, and you need to sort of match and mix the tails from your rack with the tails on the table. But it's a really good fun. It helps you to make calculations really quickly and be imaginative and creative about the colors, about the numbers. Really good fun. I have to say that once I started playing it, after 2 games, when I got the point of this game, it became really good and competitive game. Okay, so this is one game that I wanted to present to you. There are quite a lot of instructions, but inside it's not that bad because it gives you an idea of how you can create the sections. So it's very good well, obviously you need to read the rules, but you need to follow the rules. I would say that keeping the minute for every player gives a spice to this game. It makes this game really special. Okay, so this is the game that I really want to advertise. It's called Rummy Cup. And another game that I've been playing I started playing it when I was maybe 8, maybe 9. It says that this is the game for the players over 8 years old, and it's for the between the 2 and 6 players. I would say that ideal number is probably 4 again, but 6 players can play. And I won't be explaining you all the rules because there are quite a lot of them, but I'll tell you about the value and the danger of this game. Obviously, I think that when I'm talking to you, you know this game already, but obviously you've got a board with different properties, and throwing the dice. It tells you who's starting, how many spaces on the board you're going. This game is about obviously having money and investing money. It's about buying property and getting your chances, like in every business. This game is about building houses and hotels. And again, sticking to the rules is the basic thing. I have to say that when I was little, with my brothers, I have created a couple of our own rules, and the game wasn't that good. For instance, we were trying to go on credit. This game actually doesn't allow to go on credit. When I started really sticking to the rules, I discovered the beauty of this game. But now I said that this game is very good, but it can be dangerous as well. Now, why is that? Because Monopoly, once you have read all the rules and you know how to play it, um, quite a lot of this, of quite a big part of this game is actually about having a bit of luck and knowing how to invest the money and how to make deals with other players. And the beauty of this game is that it kind of involves social rules, it involves social interaction, but in the same time, the dangerous thing is that it involves emotionally, especially if you don't know how to lose. And it can appear that you are getting to the table with two or three other friends, and because someone doesn't want to make a deal with you, you really make a fuss about it, and you sat with four friends to the table, and it can turn out that you start arguing, and you stop not only the game, but it's a really big argument in the friendship. So it's a very good social rule that I would suggest to anyone is no fuss. What happens in the game stays in the game. Okay, but the other rule is that once you start playing this game, you are all gamers. There is no kind of social friendships. You can't really favor other players against someone else, because this is when the trouble starts. So you need to be fair, and to some extent you need to be you need to distance yourself emotionally from what you're doing. But the game is really good, and I would say that children under 8 shouldn't really be playing this game, because the rules are quite advanced, but also the game is quite advanced in itself, and it does require a bit of kind of emotional maturity. So I'm hoping that the parents watch this program as well, and you will be able to decide what games your children are playing. I have to say that for the evening, when you've got 2, 3, 4 hours to spare, it's a really good way of spending the time. And I would say that it's a good game for the parents to play with the children. I have to say that my fond memories from my childhood was when we were playing Monopoly, and the game in Poland was called Euro Business. So the names of the properties were slightly different, but the best time we were having is when we were playing with my uncle, who was having his own business, because he was explaining us all the tricks that we can do with the property, when to invest, when it's best not to invest, what is the chance that somebody lands on your property, all these tricks that you can learn only when you're playing this game. Okay, so now back to my face. Wow, I've been talking for about 20 minutes, but I hope that it was worth it. So now, this is two of my favorite games. I also like card games. A very good one that I would like to recommend to everyone is the Skyjo. Skyjo is a very good game. But I'm sure that you've got your own games, and what I wanted to do tonight is really to promote the board games, because I think that it's kind of renaissance time for these games, and it's a really good way to spend the time together, to have a laugh together. The preparation is really minimum. You can have a bit of snack when you're playing the game, a bit of a soft drink, and it's a marvelous social interaction. Okay, now I've got one message that I want to deliver tonight as well, because when I started thinking about what I can share with you, there hasn't been so many things that, so many other things that I'm doing socially, and I'm spending my free time to relax. And I've been thinking and praying about it, and I came to conclusion that if I wanted to continue what I'm doing in this way, I would probably start being a bit artificial, because if something is not my passion, my thing, I can't really share it. But I've got other passions as well, and they are connected more to my personal faith and personal attitude of life. And I thought that you can develop and deepen your faith not only by praying, but also by doing other activities. And I didn't come up with a name for the next section of evenings, for the next series of evenings. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. I know what I'm going to do, but I'm pretty sure that I would start with the word amazing. Okay, so next week, watch the spot. On Tuesday evening at 6:30, you are going to see something else. It won't be silly circles. It'll be amazing something or amazing someone. But I'm sure that it would be enjoyable and involving as well. So I'm looking forward to do another sort of series of video clips on live, to share my passion for something and someone else. So I'm really looking forward to meet you next week, and I hope that we are going to have a good time as well. Okay, that's enough from me tonight. I think it's been the longest time that I spent with you doing this video clip. I hope that you enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to your experience. Maybe you've got your own games to share. Please do, because I'm looking forward to learn something new. But that's been all from me tonight. So bye bye. God bless. Have a good evening.